organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, it's World's AIDS Day. We'll tell you how Iowa City residents got involved in the fight for a cure.
Plus, we take a look at why domestic violence is increasing statewide.
And in sports, we'll tell you how the Iowa Club hockey team is honoring a fallen teammate.
All that and more is coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
Thanks for tuning into your Thursday edition of Daily Iowan TV, your television news, sports, and weather source for the Daily Iowan. I'm Josh Bolander.
And I'm Adrienne Crossley. A host of local agencies gathered at the public library to observe the 23rd annual World AIDS Day. Daily Iowan TV's Brad Maxwell takes a deeper look at how this terrible disease impacts the Iowa City community.
2011 marks the 30th year since the first reported AIDS diagnosis in the United States. Since that time, over 33 million people worldwide have been infected by the virus. In an effort to raise awareness around the community, the Johnson County Public Health Department hosted a free testing and informational fair. The fair featured a variety of educational materials as well as free HIV testing. While the fair may have only been one small step towards curbing this problem, Cody Schaefer suggests a joint community effort is needed to attack this serious disease.
I think that the best solution is taking every resource we have, pulling it together and coming together as a community to attack the problem head on. That includes treatment, testing, prevention, outreach, and education.
Although AIDS continues to be a substantial problem around the world, hosting events such as these are helping to minimize AIDS around the local area. According to the Iowa Department of Public Health, there were 112 reported HIV cases in Iowa in 2010. This is down from 124 reported cases in 2009 and slightly below the 5-year average of 114. Despite the improving statistics, Cody Schaefer suggests AIDS still carries a negative stigma that prevents people from receiving a test.
There's still a lot of stigma around HIV, people who are just kind of afraid of the label and would rather not know, an invincibility complex, people, especially younger people who just think that it couldn't happen to them because it's not in the news all the time anymore and they're not seeing it like we saw it in the late 80s and early 90s.
Brad Maxwell, Daily Iowan TV.
The Johnson County Health Department hopes to increase public education on AIDS and encourages students to take advantage of the year-round free testing.
The UI and Terry Branstad are working to make Iowa a more nonprofit-friendly state. The UI's Nonprofit Resource Center has teamed up with the Governor's Office to create the Governor's Nonprofit Project. The collaboration is designed to identify ways state agencies can partner with private nonprofits to better serve the Iowa community. The new project will also work with the existing Iowa Nonprofit Collaborative to promote philanthropy and build on what the governor called a long history of nonprofit service in the state.
UI alumni are choosing atmosphere over job opportunities. That's according to the new statistics released by Brookings Institute that shows that more graduating students are moving to cities they think are cool rather than places with a more stable economy and job opportunities. But UI counselors disagree with these findings. Paul Jensen, the internship and placement coordinator for the School of Journalism, says he spends much more time talking to students about jobs than he does locations. To find out where recent alumni have ended up and their reasons for going there, be sure to check out Friday's Daily Iowan.
Finally, it's official. The Sutliff Bridge will be rebuilt. After months of debate about funding and the need for the bridge, the Johnson County Board of Supervisors has agreed to go ahead with plans to rebuild the bridge that was damaged in the 2008 flooding. FEMA money will be used to help cover the estimated $1.6 million project. Project organizers say they hope the reconstruction will be complete by August of 2012.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, we'll show you how international students are getting into the holiday spirit gingerbread style.
Plus, in sports, we'll take a look at where the Iowa football team is most likely to land when the bowl games are announced.
But first, Daily Iowan TV's Nick Fetty joins us in the studio for a look at your local weather forecast. Nick?
Thanks, guys. Don't let the sunny skies fool you Friday. It's going to be another chilly one. In the morning, you can expect a cool 25 degrees and clear sunny skies. Doesn't look like we'll have any clouds rolling in by midday, but it'll only warm up to about 34 degrees. And then it won't cool down too much Friday night, and we'll see about 33 degrees around 9 p.m. Looking at the rest of the week, expect some rain on Saturday, and possibly the warmest day we'll see for the rest of the year. It will get considerably cooler as we move into next week, and you can expect temps in the 20s early Monday and Tuesday. That's what you can expect for the next couple days. Back to you guys at the desk.
Domestic violence in Iowa is on the rise. Earlier this week, I sat down with the vice president of Iowa's Domestic Violence Intervention Program to discuss how this troubling trend is affecting Iowa City. In the United States, a woman is beaten every 9 seconds, and in the state of Iowa, the number of these reported incidents are increasing. Unfortunately, the support for these victims has not.
We have to understand that it is not the victim's fault. That when people stay in their situations, they have a reason for staying in their situations. We might not understand them, but they are ultimately trying to keep themselves safe. And sometimes in staying with a person who's and you're in a domestic violence situation, it is you making the decision to keep your job, it's making the decision to be able to be available to your children, it's making the decision to be able to stay in your community.
In 2010, 100% of Iowa's domestic violence programs reported a major shortage in resources needed to help victims, and 96% reported an increased need for services. Delaney attributed the lack of resources to the slump in the economy, which she says has led to a shortage in staff and locations to provide safe havens for victims.
An Iowa City man was arrested after allegedly fighting with his mother and then police. 20-year-old Stephen Matenda was arrested on Sunday after police were called to his mother's house, where he was allegedly breaking things and acting out of control. According to reports, when police arrived, Matenda agreed to go with them to the hospital for psychological treatment, but soon became violent and began kicking officers and dented a squad car. Matenda is being charged with criminal mischief and assaulting a police officer.
The outlook for job growth in the Midwest continues to worsen. According to data released by the Mid-America Business Conditions Survey on Thursday, 70% of the businesses in the Midwest expect layoffs or level employment over the next 6 months. The survey measures conditions across 9 states, including Iowa, and 18% of the respondents said they cut jobs during the month of November. The good news is that Iowa is one of the most well-off states in the survey, with the most overall economic growth expected for the 23rd straight month.
The Office of International Students and Scholars hosted a gingerbread house event for students who have probably never built one before. Attendees built miniature houses using graham crackers, melted marshmallows, and various candies Thursday night. The purpose of the event was to give people of different ethnicities a chance to experience a part of American culture. This year's event attracted dozens of people of all ages, and the turnout was better than expected.
I think it's a little bit more than we expected, so that's really good. And seems like some scholars take their families here and with their children, so yeah, I hope they have a great time here.
Officials with the event said the pumpkin carving in October was also successful, and they hope to see just as good a turnout for both events next year. And now let's turn to Daily Iowan TV sports director Jake Abrams for your look at Hawkeye sports.
Yeah, thanks guys. Hockey is a sport of speed, a game of aggression motivated by a hard-hitting approach. And for the University of Iowa club hockey team, their inspiration is in what they have lost. This past September, former teammate Tom Plotkin tragically died falling off a mountain on a trip. Now the only way for his teammates to move forward is by remembering the past. Our Lauren Moss has more.
This September, while studying abroad in India, Tom tragically died while hiking. He was a great athlete and student who played both lacrosse and hockey here at Iowa. In his studying abroad application, Tom expressed the importance of teamwork and leading by example, which has proved to be true when talking to his teammates about his efforts here on the ice.
Playing influenced the team. He was one of our top defensemen. He was really good. He was a shifty kid. But he always, like I said, he always brought laughter to the team. Whenever there was a dull moment, he always was the one there.
Being able to play for someone you really cared for and loved definitely made this season a lot more worthwhile so far.
I had the chance to talk to the team's captain to see what the team does in remembrance of their teammate and friend. Even though Tom's not on the ice, the team makes sure that his spirit and work ethic is kept among the team.
We had a fundraiser on his 21st birthday, which was a couple weeks ago, and we were able to raise $200 for his foundation. We just all got together and had a good time, which is exactly what he would have wanted to do. So it's just one of those things, we wear these stickers on our helmets that say TP3. The lacrosse team has TP12 stickers from when he played there, and it's just great that we're able to, really honor his memory.
It also gives us something to go out there and play for, and we're always knowing that he's our angel watching over us, and can't beat that.
And it's right here on the ice where the team comes out to give it their all in memory of their loving friend and teammate. From Daily Iowan TV Sports, Lauren Moss.
The Division II club hockey team is halfway through their season. They play all their home games at the Coralville Ice Pavilion at the Coralville Mall. And as the hockey season progresses, the winter gears up and you can count on Christmas songs, snowfall, and every sports fan's favorite, college football bowl picks. Daily Iowan TV Sports' Nick Robertson looks at the Big Ten bowl landscape.
'Tis the season, bowl season that is, and as the regular season comes to an end, it's time for Daily Iowan Sports to take their jab at bowl projections. Let's start off at the top. The winner of the Big Ten title game will go to the Rose Bowl, so either Wisconsin or Michigan State will be seeding Roses this year. Next, it looks like there's a great chance that the Wolverines of Michigan head to a BCS Bowl with their 10-2 season. Next up is the Capital One Bowl, and it's safe to assume that the loser of the Big Ten title game might land here. Outback Bowl picks next, and one could assume that the Huskers might get picked here. And here's where it gets tricky because of the controversy at Penn State. I think they could drop here despite finishing well in the Big Ten, but don't be surprised if Iowa jumps the Lions and heads to Tempe for the second straight year. The Gator Bowl picks next, and they have already expressed a little interest in Ohio State versus Florida, so don't be surprised if the Buckeyes end up going to Jacksonville for the Gator Bowl. Next is the Meineke Car Care Texas Bowl. This is the farthest the Hawkeyes could fall, but we wouldn't be shocked if the Penn State Nittany Lions land here either. That leaves Purdue, Northwestern, and Illinois with only 2 bowl games left, the Ticket City Bowl and the Little Caesars Pizza Bowl. So like everyone else, we'll have to wait and see where they land.
Tech visiting Iowa last night in a women's basketball matchup at Carver Hawkeye Arena. The ladies back home for the first time in a long time. About that, they spent the week playing in the Bahamas over Thanksgiving break. Camille Wallin there finding Morgan Johnson. Hawkeyes being aggressive, fighting for the ball. Some new faces diving on the floor. Camille Wallin comes up with the ball. She's going to dish it ahead to Kelly Cry. And the Hawkeyes take the W, beating Virginia Tech 58-47 in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Morgan Johnson finished the game with 23 points and 8 rebounds. 5 of those were offensive rebounds. So Josh and Adrian, big weekend set for the Hawks. We find out what bowl game they get selected to, and we get to find out what game we'll be watching. That's going to do it from here. Josh and Adrian, back to you.
Thanks, Jake. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek at Friday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Read about how temporary holiday stores are affecting other downtown businesses. Plus, find out where GOP candidates stand on military spending in the 5th part of the Daily Iowan's Caucus series.
And before we go, let's take one last look at your Friday weather forecast. Tomorrow's high should be a cool 39 degrees with sunny skies, and we'll see an overnight low of just 30 degrees.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out at the same time Sunday or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
For Daily Iowan TV, thanks for watching and have a great day.